Guys, we are going to jump in 2.1. Now you can print my notes and use these notes for your homework because you are going to be doing homework online for this lesson. So feel free to print this, feel free to slow the video down, fast forward, rewind, whatever you guys need. So this section is on personal banking and it starts with checking accounts. Now hopefully we're familiar with at least what a checking account is, and I'm sure all your parents have one, probably even savings account. But in a checking account, we have pluses and minuses, right? Things that add to our account would include deposits, paychecks, refunds, right? All of those are examples of things that get added into our account. Things that come out, right, would be any payments we make, any checks, any purchases. Those would be subtractions on your account. So we're going to do a couple examples. Remember that we're dealing with money. So when you round your numbers, you want to round them to the nearest cent. So you're not going to go to the thousandth, just to the nearest cent, like 56 cents. That would be your hundredths place. So here we go. Mitchell has a balance, so his balance is $1,200. He deposits a check for, so a deposit is a plus, a check for $387.89. That was his paycheck. He also received a dividend check of $437.12, and he deposited a personal check. Now, I would use a calculator if I was you. You're going to add all of those up in your calculator. Please be using a calculator for this class. It'll make things a lot faster. I told you guys you would need one. I'm guessing some of you didn't believe me based on the test. So I'm going to add all these up. And I got 22. I'm going to make sure I entered this right. This is my answer. And I got $2,275.01. Whoops. So that is the total of all his deposits. My bad, I didn't finish the problem. So that is his total. But now he wants to receive $400 in cash. So how much will he have left after he withdraws that $400? So I would subtract the $400. These are all my deposits, and I would be left with $18.75.01. And so that would be my final answer. So pretty simple. Number 2, Meg has a total of D dollars in her account. She makes a deposit of C dollars. Remember, deposits add to our account, so I would add C. She makes a deposit of 3 checks, each worth S dollars. So deposits would be 3, and she made 3 of them, so that's why I put 3S. So she would like E dollars in cash. So she wants to take out E dollars. She has enough money in her account to cover the cash received. Express this as an algebraic expression. So this is what you would have. That would be your answer, right? She has a balance. These are deposits. And this is a withdrawal. So your answer would simply be this algebraic expression. Okay? Next one, Dell and Jen have a joint checking account. Their balance at the beginning of October is $6,238.67. During the month, they made deposits totaling $12 D dollars, so deposits are an addition to our account. She wrote checks. Checks come out of our account, so minus $1459.98. She paid a maintenance fee. Okay, remember, payments are subtractions. And earned B dollars, so something you earned would be added. Write an algebraic expression that represents the balance. And so that would be your algebraic expression. Okay? Now, next part. Numeric bank, and this is true of banks. They will charge you if you ever write a check and you don't have enough money, or it doesn't even have to be a check. If you go use your debit card and you don't have enough money in your account, they will charge you money for taking out more money than you have. So this bank charges $21 per check overdraft protection. On June 5th, she had $989. Over the next few days, she wrote the following checks. So there's the first check, so she would subtract $875, $15. And let's see what's left. I bet only barely a little over $100. Okay, so I'm left with $113.85. So I made the first check. But are these other 4 checks going to be able to come out of her account? No. So there are 4 other checks left. The $3.40.50, the $4.50.63, the $3.30, and the $5.60. So because she doesn't have enough, she's going to be charged 4 times the $21. So she's going to be charged a total of $84 in overdraft fees. Okay? Now moving on to the next part, how much will she owe the bank? So we could pay the first check. We were left with $113.85. And I'm going to subtract out those other 4 checks. And that'll tell us what she's going to owe the bank. Well, actually, and let's see here, $330 minus the $560 minus the $84 that they're going to charge her. So she had $113. That first check would have cleared. So $113.84 minus the other check. So minus $340.5 minus $450.63 minus $330 minus $560 minus $84. I got negative $1651.29. She's going to owe the bank $1,651.29. Okay? Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, make sure you have enough money in your account to cover your expenses. All right. Number 5. Dean has a checking account. During the month of April, he made deposits. So deposits are additions, right? Let's see if it gives his balance. It doesn't. So I have whatever my balance was. Doesn't say. He made deposits of $2,458.52. He wrote checks. Remember when we write checks, that comes out of our account, so $789.23. He paid a maintenance fee, so that's a minus. He earned. Anything you earn is a plus. Any payments you make are a subtraction. So he earned $3.24. And it says his balance at the end, this equaled $4,492.76. So they're wanting to know what was that balance before all of this happened. So I'm simply going to combine all of this in my calculator. So balance plus 2458.52 minus 789.23 minus 25 plus $3.24. And I get a net difference of $1,647.53 equals $4492.76. To solve for B, I would subtract that amount from both sides. And her balance at the beginning equals, so $4492.76 minus $1,647.53. her beginning balance must have been $2845.23. And remember, this is in dollars, and so that is my final amount. Next one, number 6, we're comparing banks. So Belrose Bank charges a monthly maintenance fee of $17 and a check writing fee of 5 cents last year. Patricia wrote 445 checks. So 445 checks. Each check, they charged her 5 cents, plus she had to pay a $17 maintenance fee. So that is how I come up with all the charges. 5 cents per check plus your maintenance fee. So 445 times 0.05 plus 17, and I got $39.25. That's how much she paid the bank in fees. Okay? Now the last one we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to keep track. This is called the check register, and you do have a homework problem like this. Now, realistically, most of us, right, in the tech age that we live in, most of us are going to have an app on our phone that does the banking for us, but you should be able to look at it and know whether it looks right, okay? And know if your balance is correct or if there's something outstanding that hasn't cleared your bank. So that is what we're going to go over, how to fill this out so that when you look at your bank app on your phone, you are familiar with what it should look like. So I'm going to start, this is number 7, and we're going to create a check register. So I'm going to start with my balance on January 1st is $822.67. So the date is 1/5, and I'm just going to write balance. You don't have to write balance, is $822.67. Now the column on the right should always reflect what you have in your account. So part A is done. Part B says you write a check 1076, so that number goes here. And yes, there are still things I use my checkbook for. The date was January 6th. You wrote a check for $600, so under payment amount, I'm going to write 600. You don't have to put the 2 zeros. And I wrote it to Excel Health Club. So I'm going to write my new balance. So a payment, right? These are subtraction amounts. These here are deposit amounts. So take your balance, subtract 600, and I should have $222.67 left. Okay, so that takes care of B. We're now on to C. You deposit a paycheck on January 11th. So January 11th, I'm just going to put paycheck. My paycheck is a deposit amount of $227.45. And then now, because this is an addition, I'm going to add that to the 222.67. So in your calculator, add these two together. And I got my balance now is $450.12. So that's part C. Part D is another deposit. It was on January 15th. It was a rebate check. So I'm just going to put rebate for $50. Rebates are money back to you. Sometimes when we buy electronics or big purchases or like at Walmart or Costco, you get a rebate in the mail. And so I'm not going to put 00, but you can if you'd like. But this is an additional $500, so I'm adding it. So that would give me $512. So that takes care of D. So if it helps, this is part A, B, C, D. We're now on to E. On January 16th, you began writing a donation check to Clothes for Kids. Now, they're not going to tell you the next check number. They already told you the first one. So I would simply, I know that it must be the very next number, so I'm going to write that here. But it said I made an error and I had to void it. So I'm just going to do that. Doesn't change my amount. But in the same part, it says I then had to write the very next check, which would be 1078, right, after 77, same day. And it was Clothes for Kids. And I'm writing this check. So this is money that's going to come out of my account. So because this last one was void, I could just bring down the $512. But now I'm subtracting out my donation. So that was part E. So it is good to record a check once it is void so that you don't go thinking, oh, how come check 1077 never cleared my bank? So it's good to know, oh yeah, it's because I made a mistake and I had to cross it out. So that was part E. Part F says that I made a withdrawal for $200 from the ATM mall. They charged me $350, and that's often. If you make a withdrawal from a bank that's not yours, they charge you fees. So I'm going to add all these up. 200 plus 350 plus 250 gives me $206. So that was a withdrawal. This was on January 20th. And I'm going to include all my fees. And when I subtract that from the balance, remember a withdrawal is a subtraction, I end up with only $194.12. That's part F. All right, part G, you made a debit card purchase at Stacy's store. So on January 21st at Stacy's, I wonder if they tried to rhyme with Macy's, maybe not, Stacy's store. I made a purchase, so it's going to go under the subtraction column for $134.87. Remember, any payments we make should go in this and should be a subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract that out, and I'm only left with $59.25. I hope we get a deposit soon because our balance is getting low. H. My friend gave me the $1,300 they owed me, and that was on January 22nd. So I'm just going to put deposit from a friend, and it was for $1,300. I don't know who loans their friend that much money, but that'd be $1,359.25 is now in my account. So that was H. I says I write the next check on 123. So 123. Look up. I had 1078, so this next one must be 1079. And I wrote that check to iBiz for $744.24. And it was for a new computer. So because that is a check I wrote, I'm going to subtract, and that would leave me with $6.15 and 1 penny. All right. We only have a couple more. J. I deposit another paycheck on January 23rd, so paycheck. Almost exactly the same as the last one. This is a paycheck, so this should be a positive coming into our bank. We should be adding, so now I have $842.46. On next one, on K. Because on January 24th, I withdrew $50 from my own ATM. So there were no fees. So if I subtract $50, I get $792.46. Last two, I write my next check. So looking up here, the last check was $10.79, so $10.80, part L. And this was on January 24th, and I wrote the check to iTel Wireless, and it was for $75. And so I'm now left with $717.46. Last part, part M, on January 25th, I wrote an e-check. So this would be like an automatic withdrawal, okay? And it was for concert tickets. Oh, sorry, it says a check. So $10.81 for $120. And that leaves me with a final balance of $597.46. So there is one like this, I believe, on your homework and on the next test. So I did do this with you, so you can use your notes to complete this. Thank you.